You're kind of like, whoa, you look at Halloween with fresh new eyes, right? You're like, all dangers all around. So joining us in studio this morning is Sara and Vincent from C2 Tactical, here to share kind of some of those practical, easy to follow safety tips so we can all just enjoy the night with a little bit of peace of mind. So first off, I want to talk about some of the things that maybe we don't think about and why you guys want to bring safety to top of mind here. What are some of those dangers that you feel like maybe we're just not thinking of at the time?
I think people don't think about getting separated from your group and actually, being aware of where everyone's going to be, and do you have a rendezvous point should you get separated?
Yeah.
Do you know the route that your kids are going to be on if they're a little bit older and you're not going to be with them? And do you have some technology in play to find them if you do get separated and for some reason they don't show up to that rendezvous point?
Yeah, that's a good point. Just to have a game plan, right? If you guys do get separated, because you do think you're going to be with them all the time. And I've seen this happen in movies, but there could be kids who have the same costume and you think you're following your one kid, and then you're like, wait a second, this isn't mine. Oh, where did he go? Where did she go? And so it's just so important to have that game plan in place here. I want to talk about just some of the other tips that you have for families as we kind of prepare for Friday.
Awareness is going to be one of your biggest protection items, right? So where are you going? Where are your friends going to be going? And as you're moving throughout the neighborhood, is that house welcoming, right? Or is the door open and come in and get the full-size candy bar? Do you really want to go inside the house?
Red flag, right? My gosh. That's such a good point, Vincent. We've got some of the safety tips that you guys provided for us here up on the screen right now. I like to say go in groups, right? There's strength in numbers. We hear that all the time. Mapping out your route, I think that's great. I never would have thought of that. You just kind of go where the wind goes. Okay, kids are going that way. But if you have your route in mind, that's always really good. Stay alert and watching for traffic and avoiding those darker, unfamiliar areas, because we do know danger can be lurking, which is why you have to be proactive. Right. Tell me a little bit about kind of some of the items you think we should take with us.
Yeah, so some of the really cool options we have is something called the Taser Strike Light. That's a flashlight. It acts as a flashlight. You have a night mode, so you can kind of do the low light deal. It has a red light. You have a low and a high beam as well. Not only is it a flashlight and acts as that, but it also has a stun feature, which is pretty incredible. So not only for bad guys, but loose dogs, coyotes, javelina, depending on where you are, you can kind of scare them away and not have to worry about dealing with that.
Yeah, this is so true. And also I just like, even if you're not comfortable with that kind of strike light, even a light like this, it just helps you be on the lookout for some hazards out there on the roadway. Sometimes you don't want to trip and get hurt either. That's going to be, an issue. And then sometimes out in our rural areas, not as much light.
Exactly.
Right? So you just want to be careful. What would I use the air tags for?
So that's another instance where you get separated. They don't have their GPS enabled on their cell phone maybe. That air tag, you can drop it in their costume, in a pocket, in their candy bag, and have a way to track them if necessary should you get separated.
Okay, that is such a good point. And then Vincent, I want to ask about our homes, because as we're leaving to go, walk the kids, some people will just set out the candy, okay, hope for the best. But what about our homes? We're kind of leaving them a little bit exposed there. What are some safety tips for our house?
Well, when you think about your house, you've got your structure and your belongings, but also what about your animals, right? So people could be coming up, knocking on the door, so that could be kind of stressful for them as well. So making sure that your house is secure, your animals are secure, and if you're not putting out the candy, turn the lights off, right, so that people aren't coming to your house.
Okay, but if you are going to be leaving and you do have that candy, we've got some tips on here that you guys talked about to keep your lights on.
Right, so inside the house, lights are on. People are home. We're giving the appearance that people are home. Just turn that porch light off so people aren't coming to the door. Make sure doors and windows are locked. And of course, everything is secure, valuables secure in the home. Yeah,
just take that extra minute to secure your valuables, because this is a time where you do invite strangers up into, your doorstep. And it's just something to think about, right, for us. Okay, well, Sara and Vincent, thank you so much. Such good tips here this morning. Oh, and I wanted to mention one more thing, because we did kind of tease it throughout the day, is maybe wearing something kind of reflective. I thought that was a great tip as the cars are kind of coming around.
Huge, and that can be reflective tape if they don't want to put it on the costume, even on the candy bag, shoes. You can use glow sticks, that kind of a festive way to keep at least some kind of illumination on them as well.
Yeah, I love that tip, Emma, because maybe you just put a few glow sticks on kind of a necklace and you have them out there. They think it's a good time, but really it's part of safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting costumes that light up, we lean towards that now because of that exact reason. All right, great tips, you guys. Heads up.